God says you must hear this now. It's essentially trying to reframe a spiritual waiting period as internal growth.
Right, and I'm ready to dive into the rhetorical structure here. There's a lot to unpack.
Okay, so the first thing that really jumps out is the structure. The script suffers from a circular narrative that just restates its main point over and over.
It really does. It spins its wheel. The whole idea that urgency was meant to be internal, not external, that gets repeated almost word for word.
In all three sections, right? The assumption, the why God allowed it,
And what God is saying now. They're basically the same section with different labels. It just leads to total stagnation. There's no new information.
So the suggestion here is pretty clear. The writer needs to think more about linear progression. Each section has to build on the last one, not just echo it.
Exact. Consolidate all that looking back stuff into one tight section.
And use the second half to look forward, to focus on application.
For a concrete example, you could just merge the assumption section and the why God allowed it section.
Right.
Instead of two different points, just frame it as one, as a simple cause and effect.
Yeah, and then that section, what God is saying now, it can't just repeat that urgency is not a countdown. We've already got that.
We got it twice already.
That part needs to be all about action, how to actually rest, what it looks like to stop scanning the horizon for a sign, not just re-diagnosing the problem again.
Okay, so the second major issue, it's the language.
The jargon.
Yes, the reliance on abstract spiritual nomenclature creates this sort of validity loop that keeps the listener from getting anything concrete.
It's all realignment, shifting frameworks, portals of understanding.
And that language, it definitely builds an in-group vibe, but it doesn't give you anything to hold on to. It tells you you're anxious, but the prescription is just a metaphor, not a method.
So the fix here is to anchor these big spiritual ideas in, tangible real-world scenarios.
You have to bridge that gap between the spiritual truth and just, daily life.
So instead of just saying stop measuring progress by external signs,
You give a specific example. What's an external sign in 2026? It's stop waiting for that specific phone call or for a check to suddenly appear in the mail as your proof.
exactly. Or my favorite, instead of just saying alignment is calm. Describe what that actually looks like under pressure. So alignment means when your car breaks down, you don't spiral into asking what you did wrong spiritually.
You just call the mechanic.
You just call the mechanic. It's practical.
Which brings us to the third point, and this one is maybe the biggest.
The tonal dissonance.
A massive tonal dissonance. You have this high anxiety, clickbait title and intro.
Urgent. Listen now or you will miss it.
All of that. And it's used to deliver a message that says explicitly, stop living in a state of high anxiety urgency.
It's a psychological contradiction. The medium is fighting the message.
It's like shouting, relax, at someone. It just doesn't work. It probably does the opposite, actually.
So the goal has to be to harmonize the hook with the actual philosophy of the video.
You have to build trust, not just trigger fear to get a click.
And you can do that by, first, just removing the threats in the intro. That whole, if you don't hear this, you may continue carrying pressure.
Just cut it. It's counterproductive.
And then replace that whole warning style intro with something empathetic, something that actually models the destination.
So instead of a warning, it's an invitation.
Right. Like, if you are tired of waiting for a breakthrough that feels late, this is your permission to exhale. That hooks the listener with relief.
With relief, not fear. And that actually aligns with the whole point of the script.
So to recap the big actionable points here. First, consolidate the repetitive sections to fix the pacing.
Second, swap out the abstract spiritual jargon for concrete behavioral examples. Show. Don't just tell.
And third, make sure the intro's tone matches the message. Align the hook with that concluding idea of peace.
And I would really encourage the writer to try stripping away all those repetitive reassurance loops. Just get it down to the core argument and see if it can stand on its own. I think it would be much stronger.
Thank you for listening to this critique.